January 19th, 2005. We had heard about the Yen Yao Temple just about 10 minutes north of Khao Lak, where all of the bodies in that area were being gathered. I stepped out of the van and I could smell something.
It's really sharp and it's just everywhere. I think I'm gonna be sick.
I didn't find out till I entered the temple that that smell is the smell of dead bodies. There were these bodies that they would have in sort of wheelbarrows, and they would just move them from the refrigerated carts into the back of the temple where the work was being done by doctors.
Kind of ironic that we're at a temple, but I suppose it's fitting in some ways.
Like a lot of people that we met along the way, the people at this temple, they're all volunteers. They were sitting there in the heat and doing this work because they felt like this is how they were going to contribute to this disaster.
What happens over here?
This is the evidence center, so it's everything that comes with the body, like the ring, the watch, the clothes, maybe some paper like passport that come in the backpack that come with the body.
It's all collected here?
Yes.
What are they collecting there?
Everything, the small little ring piece or what is that?
It looks like teeth.
Yeah, and also teeth too, because teeth is one of the DNA part.
It was kind of like a crime scene. The family members were on one side of the barrier, and on the other side all this work was being done. And then on the other side of that, there was like a dozen tables where they were giving Thai massages to the volunteers. We had made an appointment to see the woman that was in charge of all of this.
What is the biggest challenge right now?
Problem of matching. We try to match from the information and with the identification method. And the last method is DNA matching.
I've talked to some young volunteers that come all the way, from America and from Sweden and from Germany. How does it feel seeing them here?
I think it's a good thing that everyone wants to help because we are now in a crisis. So everyone can help in any situation, maybe to put the bodies or maybe to brush the teeth or maybe to separate the evidence, anything.
Dr. Porntip had this quote that she had posted all over the temple.
เราจะพาทุกคนกลับบ้าน
It roughly translates to, "We will bring you home."
Home in heaven, home in Bangkok, home right here, home somewhere, but we'll bring you home.
January 16th, 2005. It is my 25th hour of travel. I left on Friday. It is Sunday. We arrived in Phuket. And I think Phuket, next to Bangkok in Thailand, is the most visited place in the country. So I get off the plane and I'm a little disoriented, and the first thing that I see are posters of people that are missing and names and families still searching for their loved ones. That's when it sort of started to sink in that I was walking into a national disaster. It's been about 2 weeks.
Yes.
So what is it like now?
Mostly it's clean up from the beach. We have lots of volunteers, but still people need help a lot.
We were on Patong Beach. I had seen the photos of what the area looked like after the tsunami hit, and I was really surprised to find out that it had been really cleaned up.
In Phuket, everybody depends on the tourism, so they would like to open it as fast as possible.
Most of it looked more like construction areas where you knew that a building had been torn down, but the debris had been cleared. Or if the debris wasn't cleared, it was sort of piled up in a very neat pile. If you were 22 and on a vacation and you wanted to sit by the beach or go out to a dance club, that's where you would be. Normally, it's like spring break, but now there are no customers. Everybody's just standing around waiting for the tourists to come back. Later that day, we took a boat out to the Phi Phi Islands. And the Phi Phi Islands are about a 2-hour boat ride southeast of Phuket. They're famous because that's where Leonardo DiCaprio filmed The Beach. And we get there and we approach, and I have never in my life seen the destruction.
Oh my God. Hasn't even been cleaned up really at all.
I just come from Patong Beach where it was essentially open for business. On Phi Phi Islands, it was nothing like that. It was as if the tsunami had hit yesterday.
It just looks like a bomb went off, This is definitely the proof of the power of
the tsunami. It was eerily silent on PP Islands. So how long have you been trying to clean up your shop here?
Do a little bit each day, you know.
What was it like here? I mean, what is this island like?
Very, very busy.
Yeah.
This was the main road. Yeah, a lot of it was a shanty town which collapsed pretty quickly, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what killed a lot of people because they ran into the buildings. It was low, like I said, people were running along and it was like this, following them down the street.
And then,
but within seconds, just went up higher and higher, really fast.
it's a shrine for the dead. You walk in and it's literally like something just blew up in the middle of a town and all the people are gone and you just have remnants of what it used to be. January 17th, 2005. So we saw very few young people on Patong Beach. We found that a lot of them actually were in places like Bang Tao, and it's this small town which is just north of Patong Beach where there was a group of volunteers getting together to rebuild this area. And I get out of the van and the first person I meet is this girl that went to my high school.
How's it going?
Good, good.
You went to Logan? I went to Logan.
No way!
Yeah.
And of all the places to run into someone that went to James Logan High School. So what are you doing here?
I was just volunteering for a couple of days, doing a lot of manual labor, cleaning up the debris.
And are you a student now?
Yeah, I'm actually a student at UC Davis. One more quarter to go. Just decided to take off from school and work.
Is that your boyfriend?
Yeah.
This is a nice romantic vacation you've taken your girlfriend on. Some people were cleaning up, some people were building houses, and the hardest task there was digging out tires that were embedded in the beach. Oh my God, this is heavy. There were hundreds of tires from boats that had washed up on shore and dug themselves into the sand.
Oh. Way to go.
Well, I think you did most of the work and I probably got the glory. I've done this for 2 minutes.
I've got a tire out. I don't know. You guys have been working on that for a while. It took me 2 seconds to take this out.
They're just people like you and me who decided that they couldn't just sit there and watch this happen, that they want to be a part of something. So I'm really proud that there are so many young people here. January 18th, 2005. We took a trip out to Wachira Phuket Hospital. We arrived at the hospital because I had contacted this 25-year-old kid named Anthony. Hi, Anthony. Suchin.
Very nice to meet you.
Thank you. And he had just graduated from dental school. He had no idea that the first job for him was to help identify bodies. I would guess that you didn't imagine this would be how you would be spending your first year out of dental school.
Oh my God. It's out of my imagination.
I guess I was expecting someone that looked like a dentist and not someone that looked like my kid brother. Identifying the bodies, is that the first time you've seen a dead body?
This is my second time, but it's different because the first time I only see one corpse, but on one day in Khao Lak, I stepped over 1,000 corpses, and it's horrible. It's incredible. You cannot imagine that.
And you were saying that in dental school you just spent an hour?
Just an hour
In
forensics dentistry, yes.
So I asked Anthony to describe what it's like to identify a body, and he was very matter of fact.
The corpse that I went to work, it have a lot of things like the fluid.
Yeah.
Because they swallow a lot of water. I have to say that it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Because the muscle, it's tense, it's rigidity, and you cannot open it. But when it starts opening, the fluid is flowing out immediately. When the fluid is splashed, it's not just like a leaking, but it's splashed out because it's only the way out, and we have to hide from that water.
He would get these corpses and then he would have to pull teeth and examine them and then try to match them to DNA records, and he was traumatized.
I have been depressed for the first 7 days after. Feel down, have a nightmare, and Yes, I didn't go to see the psychologist yet. Everybody said I should consult the psychologist sometimes. When you go out and when you face with the screaming people or crying people, and if you cannot be strong, then or if you cry with them, it's going to be worse. You have to be strong and make them calm down and say, everything is okay now, you have to be calm, and we're going to try our best to help you.